I'm looking real bad today. That's okay. That's okay. It's Tuesday night. Let's see what we got going on. Anyway, I just popped on to say hi to y'all. Ain't doing nothing. Messing around. Hey, one person got nail polish remover. I'm getting ready to clean my nails up so I can put on a fresh set. Oh, my throat. Just felt like something was getting me. It's like I had pins and needles in it. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Caroline. What's up, friend? Hey, Lorna. What y'all up to? Hey, Sonia. I'm good. I'm good. I guess y'all notice I quit YouTube. Hey, Miss Congeniality. What's up, friend? Hey, Sherry Russell. Hey, Lorna, I just seen you. Oh, you're working? Oh, you better get off the phone. Hey, Rosemary from Sherman. Rosemary, that ain't going to ever get old. I promise you. Ever. Hey, Annette. What's up, friend? Thank you, Sherry. I just, yesterday I washed it and I actually took a blow dryer to it because I hadn't been drying it. I hadn't been just letting it dry. And then I wrapped it up. But what I did first last night, I put sponge rollers. And then I tried to get rid of the curl. Look at what sponge rollers does to my hair, y'all. This is what sponge rollers does. So no, it ain't nothing pretty about it. Thank you. Thanks so much, Carolyn. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Congeniality. How you doing, friend? Hey, Wanda. Yeah, sponge rollers just gave me a little bit of bend. And look at that. Look at the one curl I got left. Look at that. That's it. This is what sponge rollers gets me. After I took the sponge rollers out, I had a little bit of curl, so I wrapped it and tied it back up because I was just in the house. I just took it down maybe about an hour ago. And look, hey, sugar honey. Oh, I forgot to text you. That's what the other thing was on my list to tell y'all. Look at the, remember I told you I was going to do my hair? Look, this is what I got from a sponge roller left. From sponge rollers. Y'all, I'm done. Thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you, Wanda. I appreciate it. Hey, Cynthia. Oh, man. Yo, I ain't did absolutely nothing. I ain't been doing nothing. I want to get rid of this one curl now. I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah. Hey, Sandra. Oh, you just came in from work? Yeah, I'm just going over my nails with some nail polish remover because I'm sitting here trying to debate on what I want to put on. What kind of nails, if I want to do any. I said, let me check y'all out. I started to come on last night. I need to be ordering from Amazon, groceries. Why do I have this thing about ordering? I need to just go to the store. Thank you, Sandra. Child, yeah, right. You know, I ain't thinking about no date night. I washed my hair last night. I want to get my hair cut, right? But I washed it last night and I actually put a blow dryer to it. Right? I did semi blowout, kind of a semi brush. I didn't do a lot of twisting and turning. I just did a pull out. And then I put sponge rollers on it before I went to sleep last night. And this is all I got from the sponge roller on this side. Look at this side. Nothing. Nothing, y'all. Nothing. Oh, wait. I see one little look like maybe a wave back here. And it's so dry in the back. It's just, it needs to be cut. It needs to be cut. That's all. So anyway, what y'all been up to? Look at this one curl. I am so done. This one, and it's all by itself. Right there. Wait. And a bend. It's a curl and a bend. But anyway, I need to be ordering some groceries. I said I wasn't going to, but I do need a couple things. And hey Janetta, how are you? Oh, good, Janetta. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I knew I hadn't seen you for a minute. You had disappeared on us. Hey, Selvin's Kitchen. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I need to be doing that. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm supposed to be making an order, and I was like, Oh, Sandra, yeah, Sandra, because when I went on Facebook, I hadn't went on for a couple days, right? I went on Facebook and Sandra was asking me about the storage. I was like, oh my God. So I answered her real quick and told you, the girl, them cell phones will give out on you after a while. No, no, no. It wasn't that I was saying you paid attention to it. I was explaining because I was explaining to somebody that I had rolled my hair. My whole head was rolled with sponge. You know, sponge rollers suck. Like when I first took them out, my hair might have been this short because the curls were so tight. But then I brushed it and I wrapped it up. So I was like, oh, I'll have some curl. This is all I have left. As soon as I brushed it, that's it. Other this side, nothing's there. So I say that to say, not that I'm saying the curl is there. I'm saying this is all I got left from a whole sleeping with curlers in my hair last night. Now, she's gonna talk about ain't nobody looking at your curl. That's the whole purpose of the conversation was the curl. Thank you, girl. Don't make me pull the Camden out on you. Don't do it. Y'all wait. I wanted to tell y'all this story, but I don't know if I should do it in a story time or if I should do it on here. I was telling Sugar Honey about it last night. I can laugh at it now, right? But I'm gonna tell it like a story time, and that's what I'll rename this. So anyway, I ain't gonna stay on here long. I just wanted to pop on because I swear I know y'all probably said this girl quit YouTube, and I half did, but half didn't. So wait, so y'all ready for the story time? All of y'all, all 22 of y'all. Hey Chris, thank you. Thanks, Chris. Welcome. Hey Angel, what's up, friend? No, Sandra, I'm joking with you. You know me better than that. Girl, erase that. You know me better than that. I'm messing with you. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra, I am messing with you. Fix that whole thing right there. Fix it. You know I'm messing with you. But okay. So this story time is the time that my son was lost at preschool. He was 2 years old and he was lost at preschool. Okay. So I was working at a local hospital. It's actually a trauma center now in Camden, but at this time it wasn't a trauma center. I was working there in their insurance, not insurance, but their billing department. And I hated it, but it was a job, you know. And my son was 2. My daughter was 3, right? And my daughter had she was in kindergarten now. She wasn't in thank you, Sugar Honey. So my daughter, let me pep this up. Cause see, I'm trying to watch hey, I'm Marcia. What's up, friend? I know, ain't it crazy? It when I took it out, I was like, oh my God, I got curls. It was my hair was like up to here, all bouncy with these curls. Girl, within 4 hours, this is what I got. It's one curl left. That's what I was just telling Sandra. Well, I was telling before Sandra came on, and Sandra was like, oh girl, we ain't paying that curl no mind. I said, no, this was the whole topic of the conversation was. I was saying, this is what I got from the sponge roller. This right here. That. Other than that, you see the side straight, completely straight. All right. So anyway, hey Francie, y'all. If I don't speak for a minute, it's because I want to get into the story. Because when I tell you it's funny now, but it was not funny. When I tell you I was devastated. So I was at work, no big thing. The day goes on. I go to pick my son up at school, and my son had like a speech issue when he was little. He went to a speech therapist. By the time he was 3, he started with the speech therapist, and he stuttered. Plus, he had like a struggle with talking in the beginning. He spoke a different language. Me, my ex, and my daughter, we knew we could translate for him. We knew what he was saying. If he was talking to us, we knew what he was saying. So anyway, oh, I know what you mean, girl. Child, please. This is what happens. It just goes boom, right down like this. And within probably by the time we're off, this will be gone. So, anyway, now, like I said, I'm not going to be paying that much mind, but if somebody pops on, tell them I'll be with them in a minute. If I missed you, hey, Caroline. I met Carolyn. I spoke to Caroline already. Okay, so thank you, sugar honey. So anyway, y'all, I come in and I stop at the daycare. My ex picked up my daughter. They were home already, right? This was before cell phones, all of that, right? This was 35 years ago. So I get there to the daycare to pick up my son, and I get out, I put him in the car, we go around, and I stop at my friend's house. My friend Gum. Y'all remember Gum used to be on the lives? I haven't seen her lately. But anyway, I stopped at her house. She lived with her mom and her sister and their kids, right? So I used to always stop past there, see what they was doing, if her mom had cooked anything, or just to go chit chat, on my way home. So I go in, and her sister, I'm gonna call her sister Deborah. I just made up that name because that's not her name. But she's sitting there with her son, and her son and my son was in the same class in the daycare center. She had already been there and picked up her son. So backed up. I go to the daycare center and I look, and I'm asking for his teacher. And they said she got fired today. And I said, wow, oh my God, for what? I said, because my son had connected with her. Her name was Miss Teresa. That was her real name, but I don't even know where she is now, so I don't care. So he said, and he used to call her Tisa, right? Some way he said it, but he meant her. So I said, oh my gosh. I said, what is he going to do now? Because he's so attached to her. Like, that's his, like, I can walk in, drop him off in the morning and leave. And he didn't cry as long as she was there, So when I get there, he runs to me, he hugs me and everything. And so I said, oh my God, what did she do? They said, oh, she went out for a walk-in today and she lost one of the kids. And they got the kid back. The kid is fine. But, they fired her because she just really didn't do what she was supposed to do. Like, she took her eyes off the kid, and the kid was gone for over an hour in these streets. Okay, pretty much. They didn't say over an hour. They just said she lost the kid and we had to find the kid. And so the higher ups told her to walk. They gave her marching papers at that moment. The kid was found. She had to go. So I'm like, oh my God. Hey, Noble Strength, what's up? I'm in the middle of a story time, y'all. So if I miss you, Posh, I'm making you up, Posh. I just named you. I renamed you. Oh no, Posh wasn't a good one. Okay, Posh was being a little fresh. But anyway, so I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. I said, she has such a loving heart. I can't believe she would do something like that. I said, well, maybe it was just a bad day. I feel bad that they even fired her, So anyway, I leave. I put my son's little blue snowsuit on. Blue snowsuit. And I take him on. I stop at my friend Gum's house. So I'm over there telling the story. Her sister was in her bedroom with her son. And so I'm telling the story like, oh my goodness, Miss Teresa is gone. They fired her. They said some kid got lost and such and such and such. And so she was like, Gum, my friend, she was like, what? I said, yeah, somebody in their class. I said, wow. I said, but they did say they got the kid back. So, the kid's probably, fine. I don't know who it was. But Robin comes out her room and was like, girl, what kid? That was your kid. Wait. She said, girl. She said, well, my son's real name is Ulysses. Well, his real name is Ulysses Jasmine Adams III. Okay. So, but we always called him Jazz as a nickname. She said, girl, that was Ulysses. And I said, no, it wasn't. I was in there. I said, no. I said, Robin, you're mistaken. Pam, you're mistaken. What did I say? Deborah, whatever your name is, girl, you're mistaken. I said it was not, because I talked to the teacher. She told me about the whole situation. And she said that the kid was back and everything was fine. Like, she didn't say that was your son. She said, girl, that was your son. So I call my ex. He's home with my daughter by this time. She's doing homework. He's starting dinner. And I say, they're saying that Jazz got lost today at the daycare center. And he was like, got lost where? I said, out in the street. He goes bananas, right? So we go home. By the time I get back to the house, we needed to go to the daycare. We couldn't go till the next day because I got off at 5. They closed at 5:30. So I would get over there quick and pick him up. And I was like about the 12:15, I meant the 5:15 crew that picked up him from the daycare. My daughter had just graduated the year before from there, so she was in actual um regular kindergarten school, like public school. And she would get out of school and go to my mother's, and then my ex would pick her up and he would go home, and they would start dinner and she would do homework and then we would come in last. So anyway, he's having a banana. He's going bananas because at this point he don't know what lost means. He's like, "Do you mean lost? Like he was in a different room in the daycare, or what?" I said, "No. So from what I'm hearing, he was in the street, lost in the streets." Okay, so we were like all night. We're trying to call people. We can't really get nobody. I called the police. So the police give me a case number and they say yes. They say, "I'm gonna tell you what happened. This is what happened." The detective gets on the phone and he's telling me, mind you, I wasn't even in the law enforcement field yet. And so he says, well, what happened today, they called at and they gave me the time and they said it was a report of a 2-year-old boy from the infant toddler class at his school. He went to a school called BPUM, Black People Unity Movement or something it was. But anyway, so it was a nice school though. So they said, yeah, it was reported that they took the kids out for a walk. I'm going to say 11 o'clock. And by 11:20, the teachers realized he was no longer with the group. Now, my son would go to the killer. He would go, look, he'd see anybody in the street. He'd be like, pick me up. I just don't want to be on my feet. I ain't walking nowhere. Pick me up. He was that way. So both teachers were one supposed to be in the back of the line and one supposed to be in the front. One walked up to the front and was talking to the other one. Meanwhile, my son had decided he had enough and he sat on somebody's step. They never looked back. They had the little penguins walking down the street, turn the corner, they get back to the school and go in, and my son is sitting on somebody's step. Now, so in the police report, child, who you telling? Girl, wait. So my ex can't sleep. He's in the fighting position all night in the bed like this. Right? He's ready to fight, even though the child's home. But this is what made me mad in the police report. He was missing for over an hour before the lady in the neighborhood found him, attempted to call a couple of people, and she said within 5 minutes of her calling the police that the police showed up at the door to pick him up. Now, here's the thing why I said blue snowsuit, because everybody and their mother in the neighborhood was looking for a 2-year-old in a blue snowsuit walking around the street. Blue snowsuit was the key. Those snowsuits, you put them all in, and then you had the 2 zippers, the Carters, and the 2 zippers came up the side, and they had the hood. Yeah. So they're looking for my child for over an hour. My phone that sat on my desk in my office never rang all day. He was with a mysterious woman. They never took him to the hospital to get him examined. No. They just gave him right back to the daycare. We went up there early in the morning. He went bananas. Now, mind you, this is what happens with parents when you really don't have another choice. Because I still had to continue to let him go there for about 2 months before I could find another place. Because I couldn't quit my job. Like when you're a young couple, you need both those incomes, to live. Because we lived a decent life. And we needed both of those incomes. And my daughter wasn't no longer at the school, because if she was there because she started kindergarten, her birthday's November. When she started kindergarten, she was actually 4 going into 5. So yeah, I did some finagling and got her into kindergarten a little early. she tested in though. So she went because I think October 1st was cut off. But if she was there and they said he's missing, she would have been like, give me the phone. I got to call my mom at work. Because she was a grown little something girl. Listen, she would have been like, get my coat. I'm going to find my brother, So, hey, Susie, I'm telling a story time. So I'll be right back. They did nothing, y'all. Went as far. So then this is what the director, when we go in there, me and my ex, we're sitting there. She says, well, I instructed the teachers not to tell you when you came because I wanted to have the time to be able to sit down and talk to you today. You let all day yesterday go. You fire her. You don't take him to the hospital. How about if that woman was a predator? Now we went to her house because her address was on the police report. Me and my ex went to her house later on that afternoon after we finished fighting with the school and with the police department and all of that and taking them and getting them examined and everything. We go to thank the lady because come to find out, that was the best step he could have ever sat on in his life. She took care of him. She pulled him in out of the cold. She called the police. First they said she called a couple neighbors to see if anybody's kid, could this have been somebody's kid. But within 5 minutes, she said she had called the police and the police were right there within 5 minutes. So he wasn't with her really long. She said his little face was red. So she knew he had been out there for a minute. So she said, and that was that. And she just said he was such a good boy, and this and that. She said, I didn't know if he had allergies, so I didn't feed him. She said, I just called the police. So that was that. But y'all, yes, indeed. Oh, they were. Both of them were immediately. That's the one thing I can say they did. Well, here's the thing. Miss Teresa had a lot of experience. And come to find out, she was at the beginning of the line. Why they fired her, the first girl immediately went. But why they fired her, because she was a head teacher in that class. But when that girl walked up to her, they said her attention should have went to the back of the line. And it didn't, which she should have. And I never saw her again after that. Never had any contact with her after that again. But she was so nice. I would talk to her all the time when I picked them up. No, he never cried the whole time. He never cried. He was, I told you, he would have, this is the problem with him. Now, my daughter, totally different story. She would have been like, lady, I ain't coming to your house. I'll go to BPUM, or you could call my mom and here's her number. That would, even my granddaughter would have said that. Not my son. The kidnappers could have came. He would have been like, and wanted him to pick him up. He was jolly go friendly, and he wanted everybody to hold him. So he went right, as soon as she said, come on, he put his hands up and went right to her house. Girl. So like I said, I can laugh at it now. After it was all said and done, it kind of blew over. But within 2 months, he was in a different daycare. It just took me time to get him in one. And I hated that I had to send him back there. Like I would go in there with an attitude. And then I was like, fix your face, But their head teacher, who was under the superintendent, I grew up with her family, right? And she was my daughter's teacher the whole time she was there. She said, from now on, he's in my class. She said, he's in here with the 4 and 5 year olds. She said, because I don't leave him in the infant center no more. And I told her, I said, to be honest, I'm looking for another daycare. She said, I understand that. She said, but for while the rest of the time he's here, he's in with the 4 and 5 years olds with me. So, yes. And she said, he's not allowed to go out on a walk. None of the kids get them. When she said they walk him right in the yard around in circles, they don't take him on the street no more. I said, Lord, but all of that, y'all, this woman, when I walked in, she's telling me the whole story about Teresa. Yeah, well, the kid's back. He's okay. I was like, oh, it's a boy? Yeah, it's a boy. I said, Lord, have mercy. And I would have never known had Gum's sister's son not be in the class. When she came in, she said the name was being thrown around. It was him. It was Ulysses. And she was like, oh, my God, does Joan know? And they said, no, the director wants to talk to her. So she told us not to say anything. And Gum's sister was like, right when we was in the house, she was like, girl, that was Ulysses. They trying not to tell you right now. Yes. So what was she going to do? Catch me early in the morning before I went to work and upset my nerve? I had to call out. Both of us called out of work. You know what I mean? For me and my ex, and went up there and had spent the whole day going from here to here to here. And our last stop was to go to, he didn't go to school that day because we took him to get to, a check to make sure he was okay because he was missing. And so then, like I said, our last stop was to the woman's house who took him in. And like I said, let me tell you about God knew exactly the step for his little lazy behind to sit down on. He just stopped walking. He was like, nah, no more. Y'all go ahead. I'll be all right. And he laid back on the step and he was sitting there in the freezing, frigid cold, y'all. And now, mind you, like I said, he got on a snowsuit. So you know it's the dead of winter. An hour and a half, about over an hour. I don't know if it was a whole hour and a half, but it was between the hour and a half time frame that he was missing, going out of their care. Never a call to me. Yes. So anyway, I said, oh, I had to tell that story. I had to tell y'all that one because When it was all, like I said, within 2 months, he was out of there. And I look back at it now, like, how on earth did I get the strength to send him back to that school again? But like I said, when you're young and you are desperate, my mom worked and she got off in enough time to get my daughter from kindergarten, but not enough time to keep him all day long, and I just didn't leave him with strangers. And so I just had to leave him there for 2 whole months. So I got him into a different, and then we got him in Martin Luther King school, which was a farther distance back, but it was okay because I could leave work, come around, snatch him, and they stayed open till 6, so it kind of worked out. But child, listen, that boy has been through some stuff. But in his almost 22 years, he passed away 29 days before his 22nd birthday. So he was 21, but darn near 22. And through those years, he has been through some stuff. I'll tell you, took us through some changes from broken bones and all kinds of stuff. But that one, and like I said, I'm out here getting ready to try to tell the story to my friends, and come to find out, I'm telling the story on my own time. I had no idea. I felt, and that's what I was telling them, I was so upset about, is the fact that I had no idea that this even happened. Like, I'm out here in these streets and didn't know nothing. And, somebody from, another parent had to be the one to tell me. This don't make no sense. But anyway, y'all. So me and Sugar Honey was laughing about it last night when I was talking. I said, I got to tell this as a story time. I got to tell this one. Because you just never know. Think about the things that happen at the daycares that might not have been that dramatic. And I was able to get information from the police report that evening. The detective had it, the report on his desk when I called up there to the it was after hours, so I got Detective Bureau when I called up there to the police department, and he said, oh wow, funny thing is, I just read over this report and I'll read it to you. He said, I got to go through the chain of command. I can't give you a copy tonight, but I can read it to you. He said, because I didn't know they didn't call you. I said, no. I said, and what I'm mad at. So after he read it to me, I said, well, nobody, so he was with a stranger for, some time. Nobody took him to the hospital. Like, what if something happened to him? We got some pervs out here. And they said, well, he said, no, actually the police didn't take him. I said, I think it was because the daycare was trying to cover their tracks so much. They were like, no, we can't. If we take him to the hospital, we got to call the mom right away, But it was a mess. Yeah. Child, yes, indeed. Yes, and I did. And it took me 2 months, and it just tore if it wasn't for that lady there, I probably would have quit my job. The other lady, that, like I said, she was the head teacher under the director, and she taught the 4 and 5-year-olds. Had she not been there, and she loved him to death, so she would come scoop him up every morning. Anyway, she's the one that potty trained him. That lady, he came home with somebody's underwear on one day. Something they said was in there. I said, please don't do that again. I went out and brought him underwear, but she was like, he did not want that diaper back on, so I had to put something on him. I said, oh my God. And she potty trained him, because like he was always with her. So she would come into the infant class and she would scoop him up and she would take him into her class. And he could say her name. Her name was Peyton. Her last name was Peyton, Miss Peyton. And he would say, Peyton, when he seen her. And she would come. He was the cutest little thing, y'all. When I tell you he was so cute, let me see if I can find a picture when he was little. Imagine this little thing missing. I was so mad. I know I got his picture in my ex's text, and we don't have that many. No, I don't have it. That's right. He had a new number. I don't have him in here. I do have him, but I don't have him. Let me see if I can find him in another. Yeah, I got him, but I just don't have it on hand. But yeah. Wow. Yeah, and see little things like that. As soon as you walk in the door, or they might call you, Ulysses was in the playground today and he fell, and I'm at work. And they're like, he fell, we cleaned he got a little boo-boo. We cleaned it with peroxide and we put the Band-Aid on it, and he's fine. He was cried for a little bit, but he's fine. He's with Miss Teresa or whatever. They would call me for all of that. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I'll see when I get there. And then you get there and this little paper and his little book, his little locker box thing. But a whole kid lost for an hour and 10 minutes. Nothing. Nothing, y'all. Oh, I wanted to show y'all this. His picture. Do I have it on? Yeah, I wanted to show y'all. He was so cute when he was little. Oh, wait, here's one. Here's one. He was maybe a couple months older at this time. Look. That was one of his little school pictures. Wait, let me see if I can turn the light down. This was one of his school pictures. His little preschool. He out in his little Easter suit. Child, he was so cute. It's because somebody would snatch his little behind up and hand him a boy. Child, thank you, Sandra. Thank y'all. Yep. So, I said, child, somebody would have snatched his little behind up, and he would have been gone. I said, But yeah. So, and then that was that. But yeah, that was one of my shocking times with him. I had so many times with him where he done had broken bones and stitches and all kinds of stuff, y'all. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Miss New York. Thank you, all of y'all. Thank you, Sonia and Cynthia. All of y'all. Thank you so much. But yeah, what y'all been up to? I ain't gonna stay on here long. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I am going to upload a video again this month. I promise you. And I think February I'm gonna come back strong. I think I'm gonna put it at least. I'm gonna upload at least 2 to 3 times a week in February. I promise y'all. I just needed. You know what I think it was? I just needed some time off. 4 years, darn near every day. Miss a day here, miss a day there because of things that went on. But for the most part, 4 years, almost every day. I know. Look, that was his little Easter suit. Well, his dad always was very dressed, right? My ex, he was always, if he wasn't working, he never wore jeans hardly. And when we first met, eventually he started wearing jeans, but with dress shoes and a button-up dress shirt. And he was always the sharpest thing in the town, right? Always sharp. So, and then, but if he had somewhere to go, he would have on a nice suit. And so my son he dressed him just like that. Yep. And my son always kept a nice suit. Leather bomber jackets to be like because his dad might put on a leather bomber jacket when he started wearing jeans. And my son would have on the same thing and they would go out. I know, Susie, you've been hiding out. What you been doing? I haven't seen you. Thank you, Noble Strength. I appreciate. Audrey, why am I calling you Noble Strength? But anyway, oh girl, that bag you found, Audrey, the Chanel-esque. If y'all didn't watch that, Audrey found a nice place to get. If you like the Chanel boy bag, she found a nice place to get something similar, like a dupe. But it's nice. It's leather and it's really nice. So check out her video, y'all. She just put it up the other day. Ain't been but about 2 days now, 2-3 days. I saw it. That was a nice bag. But yeah, I had to get on here and tell y'all that I was last night. And it's funny how now, like, you look at things and you think about the important things in life. And at that time in my life, I couldn't look at the important thing. Like he's home, he's safe, nothing happened to him. He came in contact with nothing but good people that day. These are the things that I could thank God for now. Those days I couldn't. I was in the what if something happened? What if somebody was bad that picked him up? What if, a mother. Now you get a chance to sit back and I could laugh, Yeah, I could just crack up laughing because I said, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do? I just laughed because he escaped so many things that could have happened in his life. And from birth, I was only 7 months when I had him. He was 5 pounds 4 ounces when he was born. And he was the first year of his life, he was on a SIDS machine. What's it called? Yeah, sudden infant death syndrome he was diagnosed with. And so he had the machine where he had to have those things on him. And they would record it, and then the people would come out to my house. They would take the tapes, replace the tapes every month, and say, no, he still needs to stay on it, but by the time he was like 18 months, they took him off of it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So he's been through so much. So he did that, and I would have to carry his big old bag with the machine on me whenever I took him somewhere, even to daycare. But until couldn't even work till he was 18 months. That's when I went back to work, and so I had to stay home with him. But like the first, I'm gonna say maybe month that I went back to work, I had to take the machine with him to the daycare center. But yeah, yes, yep. And so he was on that, and then finally they because how I found out he had it, he was only like 2 months old, and he was home, and I always noticed that he gasped when he drank, right? And yes, indeed, Ford Tough, you got that right. Yes, indeed. So I'm sitting there one day, I'm watching the stories. I promise you, I'm watching the stories, right? It was the 2 o'clock story, like One Life to Live or something. And I'm holding him and I'm feeding him with a bottle because I started him with a bottle of those the little teeny, what were they called? The little nipples that had the little one little nub. He was on those. And I'm sitting there and I'm feeding him. I look down, he's purple. Y'all, I flip him over, and out of panic, I just go to patting his back with the heel of my like a maniac. He's and he starts breathing. I rush him to the hospital. He's in the hospital for 2 weeks. They realized that the flap over your feeding tube or whatever it is, it's not the esophagus. It might have been. I don't know. Whatever. I can't remember. It's been 30 some years. 37 years now, because he'll be 38. And they that never matured because of him being premature. And actually, he could now, like when he was grown, right before he passed away, he could still eat food and then go straight to the bathroom, and food would be in the toilet because it came out, like it didn't process through his body. Sometimes if he was not feeling well or something like that, it would. But if his immune system was high, a lot of the time the food would process. So he had to stay on stuff to keep his immune. He's constantly active. He had to stay on stuff to keep his immune system up. It was just a mess. He had a hard one, y'all. He had a hard one. It wasn't a pacifier. It was those nipples. Remember when those bottles came out? I can't think of the name of it. And they had the little round top with just a little nipple. Supposed to simulate the breast. Can't think of the name of those things. No. I can't think of it. But anyway, so he went through so much. And then even going through, I remember his dad he says 5'8", I say 5'7". He says 5'8". So growing up, he would be like, Mom, I pray every day. I've been praying every morning, because he had a little stutter to him. Okay. And he was like, I pray every day that to ask God to make me be tall, because I want to play basketball. And when I play basketball, Mom, I'm gonna be rich. And my wife, if she don't like, you gonna live with me, and if she don't like it, she could just leave. He was taking me with him, right? And Nook, I think it was something like that. Nook and UK. Remember that when they came out? Y'all, we're old because we can remember when they came out. Shoot, I remember when Pampers first came out. Yeah, because remember, we ain't had no Pampers. We had cloth back in the day. So, yes, he did, y'all. And then he said, one day he comes in, Mom, it's these things called jump shoes. They were basketball shoes, and they had springs in them. And when you play basketball, when you jump, supposedly made you jump higher. All the kids wanted them. He begged me when he found out about them, Mom, please, I'm gonna play basketball, Mom. So I take him and get him the jump shoes. And I want to say they was expensive for back then. And so he had them, and y'all, one day, I promise you. Now, I know I say a little thing to make you laugh here or there, but y'all, I promise you, one day I was at where I work nights this week, because I work swing shift when I work police department. So this time I was on 3 to 1, 3 to 11. Back then we used to work 3 to 11. And I come in, they're asleep, him and my daughter sleep. And so I get up the next morning with them for school, and he's like in ninth or 10th grade. He was playing basketball for his high school and all the leagues. Every league he could sign up for, he signed up for. So I get up and I'm down there fixing him something to eat, trying to rush him out the door. And he walks past me and I look and I got to do this, y'all. Look. I was like, what in the heck happened to you? And he said, what? I said, like this, look. What? I said, who are you? But bring me my baby back. Y'all, this fool, when he passed away, he was 6'2" or 6'3", I think. 6'2" or 6'3". No, it was, he just defied all odds. And he said, I told you all when I was a little boy, I always prayed and asked God to make me tall. I said, yes, he did, y'all. He did. He walked past me and I was like, I mean, because the last I remember, he was at least my height. Like he had got to be, and I was expecting to be maybe 5'10" because his prayer. Because of his prayer, I said, he'll probably be next. Because nobody, my father, my brothers, my brother, the one that passed away, I think was 6 foot. My other brother is like 5'10", 5'11". My dad was 5'11". So I was like, you're not going to go over 6 feet, Jazz. Your dad and his dad is only like 5'7", 5'8". And then my family is only, my dad and my brothers, and 6 feet stopped them, So the Playtex bottles is the ones that you put the little plastic in. I'm talking about the ones that came out that had the big wide nipple and the mouth of the bottle was wide and it had the simulation of a breast, a mother's breast. So you can, so they can nurse off the bottle. They were called Nook. I think they were. Y'all got me doing this now. You know what? Why I always play? Why do I be fiddling with y'all? Now you're going to have me researching it. I can't remember. I hate when I can't remember. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. Wait a minute. What's the name of them? Hold up, y'all. 1 second. I'm trying to type all of this in so I can get it. Hold up. It was called. It won't come up. It's giving me all the new stuff. It's giving me all the new stuff. Yes, indeed. But I tell you, I laughed so hard with that, y'all. I said, and he said, I told you. He did it just like this. I told you that I always ask God I always pray for God to make me tall so I can play basketball. He said it just as normal. I was like, boy, hurry up and get ready. I'm trying to think of. Oh, now that's going to drive me crazy, y'all. I think it was the NUK. I can't remember now. Yes, y'all, I laughed so hard. So then, wait a minute, is this it? I can't remember. It was a short, little, stubby, little nipple. I can't remember, and I can't do it while I'm on here, but I'll tell y'all if I look it up again. But yeah. So I tell you, that kid, he's been on my mind lately. So I got on here to talk about him today, y'all. That's it. I'm on here 44 minutes. I'm messed up again. Yes, it was NUK. I do believe that's the name of it because they were new. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna try these with him. Anyway, when, like I said, I picked him up 2 weeks in the hospital, and then he was diagnosed, and they called it SID, sudden infant death syndrome, but That's when the breathing stopped. But it was also called something else. How come I can't begin with A something something something? And that's what he was diagnosed with. But that's what led to SIDS. If they could stop it at that point where he was with the other letters, and that's what they did with that machine. So he wore that machine all the time. And then the funny SIDS couldn't think of it. Yeah, well, no, SIDS was what it was. That's after they passed away. But it was the first thing was, hey Derek, thank you so much, friend. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate you, friend. So yeah, I'm in here on here telling some stuff, Derek. I tell you, I promise you, I gotta change the title to this so people can see it. There you go. But I had never seen, like, there was no reason why. Now my nephew, right, the one that used to come on here, Devin, he would be on here. He's like 6'1", but his father was like 6'3", right? So we expected that, and so it wasn't no big thing. Even my other nephews, my other sister's kids, they were, well, one of them is shorter. He's like 5'10", but the other one was like 6'1", 6 feet, 6'1", or something like that. My son, whose dad was, he says 5'8", like I said, I say 5'7". He was 6'2" or either 6'3", right in between. He wasn't 6'2" and he wasn't 6'3". He was in between, so point something. But like I said, and I looked, and it went overnight, y'all. His voice, he was like this. Hey, good morning. I was like, what happened to you? Now, I know I work nights and I sleep a lot, but last I knew, you was my size. How you get to be that big? And you grew a whole loaf of bread. He grew a whole loaf of bread taller than me, y'all. Yes. So, yes. And then oh Lord, he was an entrepreneur. He was in like 6th or 7th grade, right? And he was going to Pine Hill. They changed the name of it now. It was what was it? Pine Hill Middle or something like that. It was. And he would be like, Mom, are you off today? I said, yeah. Can you take me to Aldi's or Save a Lot? One of them. It was one or the other. Save a Lot, I think. And I'm like, for what? I got my own money. So I take him around there, whatever. He wants snacks. My kids were snacks. And then I'll go in, I'll shop, and he'll get his snacks and stuff, and no big thing. And then we come out with our own bags. And of course, I shop for the house, buying them stuff. I bought all kinds of snacks. But he would come out with a couple bags of snacks. And I'm like, what do you want with all that? He's like, I just need snacks. Y'all, my son was the mole. He was the one. He was the dealer. He was at the school. He sold double mint. He would go get a pack of 10 for $1 at Save a Lot, and he was selling them for 25 cents a piece. Yo, he was selling taffies, those blow pops. He was selling all kinds of candy, packs of M&Ms, them little mini ones like this, a quarter. All the kids was coming to my child's locker and whatever was in his book bag, and he would be. So I had no idea. So the year goes on, and I'm in his room cleaning up, and I find stacks of money. I'm a cop. I didn't give it to him. His dad didn't, because his dad at this point was on crack. My ex was on crack at this point. That's when we had separated. So he didn't give it to him. My heart dropped. He's selling drugs. They done got him. They done got my boy. He's selling drugs. I'm shaking, waiting for him to come in from school. Y'all, when I tell you I was about to kill him, I was like, where did this money come from? I'm screaming and I'm crying. Tears is running out my eyes because my baby done went to the other side, y'all. My baby done went to the other side. So, y'all, he pulls out his book bag. He pulls out his whole stash. She was like, Mom, I saw this. My daughter was laughing because she was like, Mom, he's been doing that for a long time. We always, if you're at work and we want something to eat, he'll buy us cheesesteaks. She said, I didn't tell because he was buying me stuff. He was buying me snacks and chips and cheesesteaks and sodas and stuff. So I didn't tell it. Y'all, I can't stand kids, y'all. I can't stand kids. He did that. Then another thing he did. So, I told him, you can't do this. He did it all through, y'all, all through school. He was the mole. Okay. He was the one you went to. Then another thing he did, one of my coworkers, who was a good friend of mine, he used to come by, my kids knew him. And he came one day and he brought my son. At this time, my son's like 14. And he said, that boy looks too good. He is a good looking young man. You better provide him some rubbers. I said, absolutely not. My son ain't thinking about no girls. Meanwhile, he was all, since he was 5, he'd been a pimp. Okay. He was a pimp at 5. Now, when I say pimp, I mean, I wish my friend Kim was on here because she's the one that named him the pimp. Wherever he went, if it was other little boys around, he would go through their neighborhood and find them girlfriends. By the time he left from us visiting wherever they was, all the little boys had girlfriends. You want that? You want to be his girlfriend? Yeah. And he had a bunch of girlfriends. He had one girlfriend. He had one girlfriend when he was like 7. Every time she got her hair braided and got the extensions put in, she would be like, I don't want to be your girlfriend no more. Soon as them braids came out and her hair was back to this, she was like, I'll be your girlfriend now. He was like, okay. I couldn't stand that little girl. I would take your little raggedy self somewhere. But anyway, so I should have known. So anyway, he was like, girl, I'm telling you, because I had went to work and I told this story. I said, I'm in roll call and I'm telling the guys, I'm like, look, I was washing towels all day today. I said, I kept saying my towels was missing. I went in my son's room in the closet. He had a pile of towels in the bottom of his closet. I said, I had to pull them out, wash the towels. I put them up back. I told him if he touched those towels before and left them in there, I was going to hurt him. So y'all, when I tell you this fool, so, and then I was, they were like, does he take long showers? I said, yeah. They were like, oh, did you put gloves on when you touched those towels? I was like, no, in my house. I touched the towels and put them in the washer. They were like, girl. So I finally got it. I was like, my son would never do that. Y'all, when I tell you, I was like, my son would never do that. He would never choke his chicken. Y'all wait. So my friend, who was like he was my coworker, he came over and he said, hey, Jess, I got these for you, man. He said, look, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you, if you ever think about it, because like I said, my ex at this point was out in the street. So all my guy friends, they would come over and talk to him and hang out with him and stuff. And he said, if you ever, if you get a little girlfriend, I just want you to be prepared. I want to talk to you about how to use it and this and that. He was like, I know how to use it. So I took him. I said, yes, girl, my baby would not be choking his chicken. No way. So no, don't be telling me that. Right. So I took them. And I said, when you're ready for him, you come sit down and talk to me. I'm your mother. You will not hold on to this. So I threw him in my nightstand in the back of the drawer. I put him in this little container and I threw him in the back of my drawer. And I was like, whatever. So I'm going to say maybe 10 months later, I'm cleaning out my drawer. I open up the container. The container is empty, y'all. The container was empty. He was 14. So again, I'm like, what would he do? What was he playing with these? Like what did he do with these? So later on that evening, he comes in from basketball and I have the container right on his bed. And I was like, what did you do with these? And he was like, well, I had to use them if you have to use them. Yo, and when I tell you, it had to be about 30, 40 of them in there. Because he had the reason why my friend brought him, he worked the HIV vans where you could go get tested. And they would hand out handful of condoms to people. So he snatched some up. He had said he had a big old bag and he bought some to my son because he was like, that boy is a good looking little boy. He needs some of these. Y'all, my heart broke. I never looked at him the same again. I was like, you're damaged goods. I said, you put your little thing in somebody. And he was like, Mom. I said, you're damaged. I said, you are damaged. I did. I beat him down, boy, with that. I was like, and I told my daughter, I said, you're nobody. You don't watch him. You don't tell me anything. Come to find out he had stuff on her. I said, Lord, over the years. But y'all, when I tell you that boy took me through some stuff, okay? The cutest little things, you know what I mean? But too much. I was like, and I didn't realize he was 15 by the time I found out what he was doing. So I don't know how long he was taking them, but all of them was missing. Now, I'm praying to this day, 15 years after he's been gone. I'm praying, 16 years after he's been gone. I'm praying that he shared some of them with some of his friends. Yeah. Yes, indeed, y'all. I'm still praying that he wasn't the only one using it. Lord have mercy. I swear. He was like, Mama, he was so embarrassed and so ashamed. And when I told him about the chicken choking, that I better not find no towels in there, y'all, he started washing towels and having towels, folding them like I like them, putting them back in the thing. Finally, you know what I did? I was like, these are yours. Put them in your room. You wash your own towels. These are yours. I'm buying new towels for myself. Don't touch my towels. Yeah. No, he said he didn't sell them because I was praying he sold them. He's like, no. Oh, Lord. I swear. But yeah, after a while, thinking about it and realizing that, oh my God, this kid is growing up. And like I said, then that day, he's 15 and I look 14, 15, was in that same age. I look and the child is like at least a loaf of bread taller than me. It felt like he was probably at that point when I first noticed maybe this much taller. And then before you know it, he was at least he was about a loaf of bread higher than me. But yeah, those were the days, y'all. Those were the days. I miss him so much. I swear, I know he would have followed me in Texas because he would have been nervous with me being out here by myself. He would have been mad. He would have been like, Mom, why Texas? I don't want to go there. And then as soon as I get here, he would have been right here. I'm not leaving you here by yourself. Yes, indeed. But yeah, those were the days with my boy. Those were the days. So anyway, y'all, let's talk. What y'all been up to? I had to tell that story though. But that kid kept my life going. Something else. He was murdered, Yvonne. He was murdered. He was stabbed in his heart. And it wasn't even a fight. It was the craziest thing. I told the story. I mean, I really don't want to go into it right now, but one day maybe I'll tell it again. But he was not expecting it. He was wide open. Like, as a matter of fact, when the guy stabbed him, the guy, like I said, he was between 6'2", 6'3". The boy who killed him was young man. He was 5'6". That guy actually last year, June 1st, I want to say 2020, June 1st, 2020, he killed somebody else. He was out of prison because they only did 6 years in the murder of my son because it was in the era of don't rat. They got him on what they could get him on. They got him on manslaughter because nobody would talk. So none of the people at the party, my son knew a couple people there and they were like, we can't rat. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you, Audrey. I appreciate you, friend. Yes, indeed. You know, he always going to be my baby boy, y'all. So, but yeah, he took me through some stuff, y'all. But it was the cutest little thing. His life was so full of something. He got many stories with him, I tell you. Yep. Ooh, look at all that good food. Look at that avocado. Ooh, look at that corn. I got a taste for corn. I'm trying to stay away from it. Lobster. You know what? Just before I came on live, I said if it wasn't for shame, I would DoorDash me some a crab boil. I just thought that. I was like, I should DoorDash a crab boil. And then I was like, no, you're doing right. You're doing the right thing. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He was at a party and they said he was walking down the steps and the kid was at the end of the steps and he had been like some type of mental issue and he had been fighting with other people. And so he said something to my son and my son went to bend down and he put his hand, you know how you do this, like what? And he stabbed him directly in his heart. There was no block in it, no nothing. My son wasn't expecting it. So, and then when they asked him at sentencing, he said he was the tallest one there. So he wanted to make his point. Yep. Oh, wow. My son was 21 and he passed away on right before his birthday. His day of birth is July 30th, 1984. And his day of death is July 1st, 2006. Yep. So yeah, wasn't good. And then it made me a nervous wreck about my daughter. And that's why I'm like that with my granddaughter. It makes me a nervous wreck. If they call me at a certain hour at night, I'm like, what? It's like, so I had decided, after a while, I'm not going to do that no more. I can't be sitting around waiting for the shoe to drop, or something bad to happen. I'm not doing that no more. Yep. So it was a mess. It was a whole mess. It was done, and now that I accepted the fact that it is what it is. I feel so much better about it. I feel so much better about it. I know that hopefully, if the stories are right, what they say, I'm gonna see him again. You know what I mean? And honestly, I would have to say he's around now. Like, little things that there is so many times that I could say, and I'll talk to his picture. Sometimes I'll even say, like, I'll look at his picture and be like, Jess, where did I put my keys at? Can you help me find my keys? And I'll be looking, and then I'll find my keys, things like that. You know, I swear he's still around me, y'all. I swear he is. And if that's the only way I could cope with it, that's the way I got to cope with it. People can think I'm crazy if they want, but I do. Oh, you got to be kidding me, Yvonne. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got a call from my son's phone too, but it was his friend who was with him. Now, the funny thing is, he went, like I said, I don't want to go into the whole story, but he had a friend with him who was behind him when this happened. And my son fell back on him. So he went to go chase the guy, thinking my son was going to see. All they thought was that he pushed him. He didn't know. Nobody knew at this point he was stabbed. But this kid says he's a grown man now. He's in his 40s, this boy. But he said that when he turned around and noticed, because the whole crowd went chasing this guy for pushing my son. So he said when he turned around and he didn't see my son running, he was like, well, I don't know these other people. If he ain't running after him, I ain't going to run either. I'm going to go back to him. That's when he goes back. He's on the ground and he's bleeding from his chest. So my son always had 2 cell phones like I did. And he had one. Remember when the, what are they called? Walkie-talkie phones first came out? I had one for work, so I had got him one. Plus he had his regular little cell phone, flip phone. What are they called? I can't think of nothing, y'all. I think I got. Ooh, I ain't claiming that. And so, thank you so much, Audrey. Hey, Glorious Love. Nextel, yes. So he called the kid called me on his other phone, not the Nextel. My phone rang. Well, first his girlfriend called me, talking about he had been stabbed. And I was like, what did you do to him? Because they used to always go at it. And she said, not me. He's in Atlantic City. So then my phone rang with his phone. So I was like, well, he's fine. So I get on the phone. I said, Jess. And he was like, no. Then the boy can come. He answers. He clicks on. He says, Mom. Now, I don't know this boy who called me. Now, like I said, he's a sweetheart. I know him now. He's a grown man. I keep saying boy because I'm thinking at that era, he was still a grown man then because he was older than my son at the time. This guy had to be about 28, but him and my son were good friends. But they weren't good friends because now my son only brought his best friends to the house. He never brought street friends to the house. Like people he met after he was grown and he would hang out at clubs and stuff. He wouldn't bring them to the house. His best friends, best friends he grew up, they were always at the house. So I had never met this kid. And he says Mom because he didn't know my name. And I was in my son's phone as Mom. So when he calls me, he says Mom. And I'm like, Jazz, where are you? And he was like, it's not Jazz. And I said, who are you? Why do you have his phone? I'm like screaming. And he's like, my name is, and he, actually my daughter said that she had just recently ran into this guy. He said, I don't know, that they're working on him. So I get him, I tell him, I'm screaming at him to give him, the cops were there. I said, give the phone to a cop. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, look, I'm out of Camden Police. I'm, Brody out of Camden Police. And, so he was like, I said, listen to me. He was like, I can't tell you, you could come on down. I said, listen to me, Atlantic City police officer. I said, if you were calling me and your child was in Camden and your child had been injured, would you want me to tell you? He was like, okay, are you by yourself? I said, yes. I said, but I'm waiting on somebody to come because his girlfriend and her mom was on their way to pick me up to go down there. He said, come on down. He said, but right now they're trying to resuscitate him. Y'all, I fell apart. Thank God she came to get me. So we get down there we get to Atlantic City from my house in probably about 25 minutes. And it probably should have took 35, 40. We was rolling down the highway, down the expressway. And we get there. And I'm gonna tell this in a story. But listen, here's a preview. We get there to the hospital. We go in. I'm crying. They're holding me up. And this is the girlfriend with the fake baby, the one that I thought he had a baby for a while. Yeah, for a couple years. So I'm coming to find out little girl wasn't his. I was so mad at him. This was his high school girlfriend. They were together since they were 16. The little baby was born when he was 20, and she was 20. And by the time my son was gone for like 3 or 4 years, found out she wasn't his. Yeah, DNA test with another guy proved that she was his. But anyway, so we get there, y'all. Guess what? The security guard says, "What's wrong? Who you here for? Why are you crying? Calm down, sit down." And I said his name, Ulysses Adams, and they say, "Calm down, relax. He's fine. They took him to CAT scan. He's fine. He was talking. He's fine. Just relax." I was like, "Oh my God!" Everybody gets on their cell phones. A bunch of cars is driving down there. All his friends and my best friend, who was a cop too. She went and got my sister and my sister and my daughter and a couple of my nieces from my ex's family. So they were driving down. So I get on the phone. I call them. I'm like, "Hey, slow down. He's fine. He's in the CAT scan and such and such." And so my best friend says, "Well, we're here. I'm parking in the parkade and we're on our way. We're running over there." So I said, "Okay." They come running over to the hospital and I'm filling out the paperwork for him. Right. And so one of the cops walk up to me and says, "Would he ever use a fake name?" And I said, "No." And so they say, "Okay." And so they said, "What does your son look like?" And I said, "Well, he's about my complexion. He's about 6'2", 6'3". And they were like, "Okay, hold on." So to come back and these two cops walk towards me. Meanwhile, my best friend and my sister and they're walking in. And they were like, "We regret to inform you. I mean, I'm sorry to inform you, but your son passed." No, they said, "Do you know a person named Aaron Adams?" And I said, "No." I said, "Well, my nephew's name is Aaron." I said, "But I don't know why he would use my nephew's first name and his last name." I said, "I got a nephew named Aaron." And so they were like, "What does he look like?" And I tell him he looks the same, about the same, like he's about 6 feet, light skin like me. And y'all, the guy who killed him, his name was Aaron Adams. He was 5'6" and brown skin. They were getting ready to take me to the CAT scan with the suspect. Y'all, I lost my ever-loving mind. And let me tell you something. Spiritual protection is real because I stepped out of the mother role like I stepped out of my body. I was not the mother anymore. I became the detective and I was going to solve it. I started I get information. I get full description of the last thing I seen. I pull up my tag number and from the car because he drove a Toyota Camry, but it was my car. I bought it. It was in my name, but he any car he had, I bought it for him. Y'all, yes. I turned into the detective. I start looking for everybody that could have possibly been involved. I'm looking around for people who's there. I'm walking with the detectives with a notepad out, y'all. Yes. And so one of the detectives went to my sister and was like, "She's lost it." And my sister said, "Yeah." He said, "Why don't you come over here and start signing her into the hospital? I think they're going to have to give her a sedative." And so then I go outside and my best friend, like I said, she was there. I said, "Girl," I said, it's a dream. I said, because now, mind you, I see my ex-mother-in-law, my ex, his new girlfriend in the parking lot of this hospital. Now they ain't got how they get there. First of all, he don't even have a car. He's a bum. How they get there? So at this point in my mind, I am dreaming. It never happened. This is just a good, real dream. And I'm like, "Girl, this is a dream. I am not going to worry myself." I was so worried that it was really him, I said, "Thank God." So then I look and I see a group of my daughter's friends show up. I was like, "Girl, look at them." Now, why? I said, now, mind you, they're all from Camden, New Jersey. We're in Atlantic City. It's about a 45-minute ride down the expressway, 45, 50 minutes from there. Now, so I'm like, all these people, it was crowded. All his friends from where we lived, right? I mean, about 40 of them out there in all the street, the whole parking lot of the hospitals, crowded, all these people. And I'm thinking, all of these people wouldn't be here right now. This is so fast, it wouldn't be here. Yeah, they all showed up for him because that's how much they loved him. They all flew. Everybody came from everywhere and flew down there to the hospital. I had no idea. Then I saw my brother come. I was like, my brother is home with his wife. We never even called him. He don't even know. He's walking up to me, and he walks up to me. He just grabs me, and he's crying, and he's crying, and he's just like rocking me back and forth. He was like, it's real. It's real. He said, I came here as soon as, I got the call. Donna called me, and I'm here. And then I believed him. So then they needed to take me back to identify him. And I went back and I went to go grab him, but I know he was evidence at that point. I couldn't touch him. But, and I know that sounds crazy, but thank God I was a cop because I understood when they said, I said, I know. So my sister was like, what do you mean? I said, no, he's evidence. You cannot touch him. You can't touch him. So, yeah, it was a mess, but I went real crazy for about 20 minutes. My sister, when the next day, she said, girl, I was signing you into the hospital. Your whole paperwork was done down there. She said, I had them ready to just give you a needle from the back and put you in a bed because you had lost your mind. I said, I know. I remember looking over and my daughter was on the ground and she had these long braids in. And I said, girl, get up off that floor. Ain't nothing wrong with him. It's a dream. Y'all, I can laugh now. Like I said, I feel so comfortable with knowing that, it was his life. His life ended and it was his time. That I can kind of laugh about things now because for a long time I couldn't deal with it. I really couldn't deal with it. Yep. I left the mother's body and I turned right into work. I was working this case. I was like, what do y'all have right now? Like, what do you get? Because right now we need to be looking for a green Toyota Camry and such and such and such. And this, and I said, we're looking for a 2001 Toyota Camry, evergreen color, peanut leather interior. I'm telling that I said he had on a pink shirt. He had on light like those, but they were baggy. Remember the kids were wearing baggy jeans? Always said if he knew I was showing his pictures now, he would be like, them clothes is old fashioned. Don't be showing them people my clothes. And he had on white Air Force Ones. And he had on a pink, like he always wore a baseball cap or something. And it would match his shirt. And he had on remember Lacoste was out? The Lacoste shirt. And the Lacoste was on the pink hat. And he had diamond earrings, and between the scene and him getting to the hospital and me finding out so his earrings were gone. Somebody had stolen. He used to wear 2 diamonds in his ears and they were stolen. Somebody got them. Yep. So, I'm in there describing everything about him. And you know what? The funny thing is I had his picture etched on his headstone. He has a black granite headstone. And I had his picture etched into it. And the funny thing is, he had on a suit that day, the day of this picture, because I took a picture to them. He was in his cousin's wedding, and he looked so good that I snapped the picture. And they did the detail in the picture that they did on that headstone. You could see the diamond earrings in the headstone. Yep. Yes, indeed. And when that friend called me, and said that, I just, like I said, we always kept in touch with him. So my daughter said I'm trying to find a picture of the headstone, y'all. 1 second. I think it's on here too. But yeah, you could see the earrings in you could see his earrings in the picture. And I said, I will say his name. I will talk about him. I'm going to remember his stories for the rest of my life. I'm never going to let him be forgotten to the world. Never. But I do accept the fact that it was his time. And look at this one, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me turn the light down again. Y'all, look at this. Oh, my ex sent me that recently. About a year ago, year and a half ago, maybe. I was there in Jersey. And he starts sending me pictures from his phone. Look at him. Look at him. He had on a dress shirt and dress pants that day. We must have went to church or something that day. And he was at my sister's house laid back after he ate. He's about 2 here. Look how cute that little face is. Yeah. I'm trying to find the headstone so I can show y'all that because you could see the detail in that. Here it is. Look. Now let me see if I can make it to, let me see. See if y'all can see the detail. Look at his ears. You could see little white spots on his ears. The diamonds were so bright in that picture that they picked it up in the etching of this. You can see the one there and one on that side. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I really do. I didn't mean to get on here and keep y'all this long, this late. It's 8:55 on a work day. I'm hanging up on y'all. I'll be back Saturday, but I'm also going to be back with doing this, doing another video. I just, y'all, again this week, first of all, my eyes are heavy and dry. I have not slept since Saturday morning. I woke up and then I didn't sleep none. Saturday night into Sunday. So I laid around. I was tired, still couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned. Sunday into Monday morning, I got about maybe 2 hours sleep. And then last night, Monday into Tuesday, I slept from about 3 to about 6. And I've been up all day trying and begging my body to go to sleep, and it won't go to sleep. Thank you so much, Sandra. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to come on and tell y'all a little more about it. You know, I'm so okay with it right now. This whole change I've been doing this year with just being grateful. Remember, that was my word this year. And I still have not come off on and told y'all to get word for this year. I'm still working on it. But I worked that word last year. And so 2001, I worked that word grateful. And I have learned to be grateful for everything. And I have to learn to be grateful for the memory that I have. So I decided I was going to come sit down and talk to y'all and just talk about him. He was such a good kid. Y'all would have loved him. Everybody loved him. He never, when I tell you at his funeral, there were, there's a certain amount of people, occupancy restrictions. Well, it was full. I have 2, the book that they have you sign. I got 2 books full of names. They had to pull out a second book for people to sign at his funeral. Whole families, people he grew up with, their aunts, their uncles, their grandmothers, their mother and father, the siblings, everybody showed up at this funeral. Some of the people that came late, they had to put the outdoor speakers on. Thank God it was July. It was hot and it wasn't cold. They put the outdoor speakers in the whole area of all around the church. People were standing there. When I came out, they had my department. They had police cars lined down in the middle of the street. They were all out there. My department was all out there. So, and I didn't even know they were coming. My best friend had, told the department what was going on. She kept in touch with them because she was a cop too. We and her worked together. And she, had let them know, it told them, and they were like, we'll be there. Anybody that can be there that day will be there. And so they were lined up out there down the middle of the street, just lined up down the yellow line, police cars with their lights going. And they followed us over to the cemetery, and it was really nice. But yeah, Miss New York, I'm so sorry, Yvonne. I did not know that. I didn't know that you had lost a son. I had no idea, friend. I'm so sorry to hear that. Like I said, this is a club that once you get in it, your empathy for all the members is strong. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what class you came up in. I don't care how rich you are or how poor you are. You have empathy for your other club members. Nobody wants to get in. Nobody is filling out the application to get into this club. But once you're in it, I don't care who it is, what they look like, their skin color or their bank account. I have empathy for them. And I just, my heart aches for that person and what they're going through, especially in the beginning. I mean, I'm an old schooler here because, I got about 16 years under my belt. Guess what, y'all? It don't get no better. You get used to it. You adapt to the feeling. The feeling don't go nowhere. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed, y'all. All right, I'm hanging up on y'all. Get ready for work tomorrow. Don't be going in there telling your boss that Thrift Queen came on and she was in here running her mouth with all her stories, and that's why I'm late. I ain't get to bed. I didn't even eat my dinner yet. You see all this, y'all. Sassiness is coming out. All right, y'all. I'm going to be putting up a video. I promise you. I'm going to be putting up a video. I might go to the thrift store. I missed it today. I wanted to go get me some 25-cent shirts, blouses, vintage blouses. I want to add a couple vintage blouses to my wardrobe. Susie, what's up, Susie? My dear friend. Glorious love. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to chat with you much. I was running my mouth, but I'm glad to see you in here. What's up, Susie? Good night, Audrey. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you for being here, friend. Good night, Sandra. Everybody, y'all, I'll be calling everybody's name and have y'all on here for another half hour. And Derek, if you're still on, I appreciate you for the super chat, friend. I really do. I needed to make me $11 and something cents. So I could, y'all, this is the first month. I thought I wasn't going to get paid from YouTube, but it was worth the break because you got to make make $100 that get paid. I still need $11 or like $10 and something cents. I was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Well, I'll get something towards it now. I appreciate you, Derek. So, yeah. Good night, everybody. Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all Saturday night for live. I know that. But I'll be uploading a video because I realized I only uploaded 3 videos this month, y'all. And that was in the beginning of the month. So, I'll chit-chat with y'all. Susie, did you ever say anything? No. You know how to reach me anyway if you want me, Susie. Oh, okay. Carolyn says she ain't got to go to work till next Wednesday. How'd I get that? What, Susie? How'd I get what? Oh, I missed it. Whatever you were talking about because I was running my mouth. How did I get something? Thank you so much, Sandra. Hold up. She said, hold up. What's up, Shay? I know I didn't get a chance to chit chat with you either, Shay. How you feeling? How's everything going? What's up with the 11? With the 11. What's up with the 11? No, Susie. No. What I said was you make the money off of AdSense. You know how you see the ads on YouTube? Because I didn't upload a lot this year and I didn't have a lot of people watching my old videos, you got to make $100 before you can, they'll release your money for the following month. That month for the month prior. And this month I didn't reach that. It ain't nothing you could do about it. Like you can't give it. Yeah, no, you can't give it. I still got days. I'll probably get to it. I'll get to it. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean that I'll stop getting paid. It just means for February would be the first time I didn't get a check. But I know I'll get to it. Yeah, no, it's nothing you could do about it, Susie. Thank you. You know what? I can't. Susie is such a sweetheart, man. I realized what she's trying to do. She was like, oh, I'll give you the $11. But no, Susie, you can't do that. But I appreciate you, friend. She is y'all. When I tell y'all, if you're going to have your friend in life, get you a rider like Susie. Susie is a sweetheart, okay? She'll be like, we're going to fix it. We're going to make it right. We're going to make this whole thing whole. Yeah, I finally got what you were saying. That was so sweet, Susie. I appreciate you. She's like, we're going to fix this thing. But no, I'll get it because what's the day? Like the 24th, 25th, something like that. It'll happen. I still got a couple more days. So yeah, and it's AdSense. Like it's the money you make off your ads. I just didn't have very many views this month because I didn't upload a lot, Yeah, so. And you got to get to the $100 threshold before they'll release it. It's not like I would lose it. It would go over to the next month. But this would be the first time since I've been on YouTube that I didn't receive it. But I did. Yes, indeed. You sure are, Susie. Yes, indeed. Y'all get yourself a ride or die because Susie will be right there. Like, how we fixing it? Come on. Susie's that chick you call Susie. These girls was around the corner messing with me. And she like putting her Vaseline on. She tying her hair up. She like, girl, where they at? Come on. Come get me. Pull up. Susie get her piece. Put it in her bag. Come on, girl. Let's go. She one of them, y'all. Susie's one of them. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. I'm hanging up on y'all. I will call y'all back definitely Saturday night, but I'll be uploading. So look out for my uploads. If you don't have the notifications on, put them on. And wait, because I'm gonna be done. I might go to the thrift store tomorrow. Like I said, I wanted some vintage blouses, but I don't know if I feel like going over there. I might just run a Goodwill. I'm itching, jonesing for it. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you so much, friend. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Carolyn said with my heat. Yes, I know it. I mean, Carolyn. I'm saying Carolyn because I was talking to Carolyn. Susie said with my heat. Yes. All right, y'all. I'm hanging up. Go do what you got to do, and don't be talking. Don't be. If you need a note for work tomorrow, call me. I'll send you one. I'll message you one and be like, yeah, I got on there running my mouth and stayed on too long. All right, y'all. Yes, a lot of y'all are my ride or dies. Y'all that come on these lives here now, y'all, a lot of y'all have stuck with me from the beginning, even after I stopped doing jewelry and I'm just on here running my mouth. I must say, and I appreciate every one of y'all that come on here and hang out with me on Saturday nights. All of y'all. I do appreciate it. I really do. It didn't go unnoticed. A lot of people fell off. Remember when we used to be running 200 people a night on Saturday nights? And as soon as I stopped doing jewelry because it was too much, that everybody fell off. But a lot of y'all that's on here, y'all have been my ride or die since the beginning, and I appreciate y'all. I really do. All right, hang it up. After I say, look, I appreciate y'all. Hanging up on y'all. I'll talk to y'all Saturday night. Y'all be good. I'll see you.